All right, man. Look, I'm just gonna get to the conclusion here, but I like imperfect games like Redfall. I have never played a perfect game. So on that front, I like many, many, many imperfect games. I've never played a perfect game. Okay? But this author here starts off with the recent release of Redfall has been a sour affair. At a time Xbox really needed a hit, they released what both critics and gamers have perceived as a misfire. I have not played the game yet, though thanks to Game Pass I will, but it got me thinking of the games I've played over the years. What I've realized is that sometimes I prefer games that are imperfect or mediocre. I don't believe the perfect game exists. There are games that come strikingly close to that. Anything by Naughty Dog. The Last of Us Part 1 for PC port being an outlier has been perfectly paced, brilliantly written, and polished within an inch of its life. The Forza series is always stellar. Most Mario games are on point. Don't get me wrong, I love these games. There's something about them that can leave me feeling cold. They feel clinical, riskless, dare I say, boring. I have a great fondness for games that maybe score 6 and 7s, not the disasters like Life of Black Tiger, but games that took a few swings, had a few misses, but for the most part created an endearing experience in its own right. So I agree. I've never found a game that I went, this is perfect. There's absolutely nothing in this game that could be done better. I agree with that. But um and I will also say that look, I tout this all the time. As human beings, we're all different. We all have different preferences. The things that we enjoy about entertainment, and especially the world of video games. And just because a game reviews one way doesn't mean that that's exactly the experience you're going to have with it. Because uh, naturally we have different preferences as far as our entertainment goes. So something that somebody else finds to be maybe off-putting about a title, you might not have an issue with, and vice versa also. So it just kind of depends. But where I have a kind of an issue with this is like, well, let's get down and read the conclusion here. And games have been malaligned and are often touted online as being trash or mediocre. But do you know what? Sometimes I like it when a game doesn't get it all right. Sometimes I like the annoying quirks. You can feel a certain passion seeping through when a game isn't as polished. I will play Redfall at some point. I will make my own choices about what I like and don't like about the game. But if it's anything like the above, maybe it'll be more special to me than the game of the year. Maybe. Either way, I refuse to get sucked into the hyperbolic mudslinging gamers do when a game doesn't get 10 out of 10. I hate games getting rated 10 out of 10. I find it super off-putting. I don't agree with it. 10 out of 10 means the game was perfect and that there's nothing, absolutely nothing that could have been better about the game. I find it stupid that people rate games 10 out of 10. I don't like it. If anything, it should be like a 9 point something or what, because you can't, I've never ever played a game that was absolutely flawless. I just haven't. But I don't totally agree with this take here, man. Like I can understand. There's to an extent. That's why people enjoy Bethesda to an extent. There's quirkiness in those games. There's bugs in those games that pop up, and from time to time, there are bugs that just make you chuckle because it's like I just got Bethesda. It's just part of those experiences, right? It's just become kind of synonymous with playing their games. And to an extent, it's what's made them almost fun in a way, right? But to say that, I mean, like this last in the conclusion here, refuse to get sucked into the mudslinging gamers do when a game doesn't get 10 out of 10. Look, man, you know, that's also not fair. Because there are a lot of games that these developers are making and are hyping up to us. They wanted more money for these AAA games, right? So they're charging $70 now, even though they didn't need to. They wanted more money for more budgets for better games. They wanted to make us better games, but they're releasing crap, right? And so to say that, like, I'm not gonna, trash these games that deserve to be trashed, that's not fair either. Because there are all these games getting released that are hot pieces of garbage that deserve to be criticized. And I understand maybe not wanting to jump on that bandwagon until you try it out for yourself. I respect that. But to just kind of put these statements out here, like, to make it sound like people are just jumping on a bandwagon and throwing undue criticism at a developer and a game, that's not fair either. When obviously the game is underperforming, both in areas of and most of the time this is the fact. Content is bad. Technical performance is bad. They're unoptimized. There's a difference between like a few bugs here and there. Like everybody understands gaming. We deal with that kind of stuff. There's a difference between that and just terrible releases. And that's what we keep getting. So this isn't fair, dude. You can't, and again, to each their own. Everybody enjoys their entertainment in different ways. But man, give me a break. Trying to make it sound like everybody's just jumping on a bandwagon and throwing like undue criticism at games like Redfall. Dude, that's not fair. They wanted more money for bigger budgets for better games, but we're not getting better games. They deserve this criticism. So, I don't know. Go play and enjoy your, terrible games or whatever, but don't act like these games don't deserve to be criticized like this. Don't act like these developers don't deserve to get backlash for, marketing these games up and then not following through with what they're promising us. That sucks. That's not fair.